Kia ora and welcome to my channel. My name is Carla and you're watching Sew Knit Create and Repeat. This is my video podcast that I do around once a month where I'm talking about all the things that I'm making, sewing, knitting, whatever, spinning. And this is Grogu, who's going to be our little co-star today because she's running around like a lunatic. You can go down there, darling. Today is Sunday the 26th of August 2024 and it's about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I didn't check. But anyway, I have to get this done today. What a waffle. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments in the last video. At the end of this, I will do a draw for our giveaway that we did announced last podcast. Yeah, I left my notes inside. What an idiot. So let's just get started anyway. Right. My hair is sticking up. I had a haircut on Monday and I just checked the mirror and I was like, because it was like, when I was trying to flatten it down. So this is my first finished object. I finally finished my Bereket pullover, which is by Ainur. I can never say last name, so I'll write it. It'll just be in the description box. I'm not going to write it on the screen. I've knit this in a sport weight wool. It's by Skeins in New Zealand and it's called Southlander Sport. It's just a lovely sort of heathered looking wool and I love this colour. I can't remember what the colour is, and I'm wearing it with the other finished object, or one of my other finished objects, which is these linen Papao wrap pants by Ready to Sew, which is a French company. So yeah, I absolutely love this top. It's just my style. I love it. And if I lost weight or anything like that, I don't have to worry because it would still look fine as a, big baggy thing. But at the moment it's not big and baggy. Well, it's oversized, but you know what I mean. I enjoyed everything about this. You knit it from the sleeve all the way across to that sleeve. So that's your cast on and that's your bind off. What else can I tell you about it? It's just really interesting. I have to admit though, by the time I got to about here on this side, I was just like over the bobbles. Well, she calls them bobbles, but I think they're more welts because they're about 4 stitches across, and then you back and forwards those, knit backwards and forwards 6 rows, and then you knit them back down and carry on. So in effect, it's about any row that's got a bobble row is just about 6 times the amount of knitting as any other row. So yeah, I was kind of ready to finish it. But it does go fast, and I feel like I would knit this again, maybe without the bobbles and maybe introducing another pattern or something to the section because the construction is so neat. The V shape in the front and the back is constructed using short rows. It's a beautiful pattern. I do rate it, and this is one of my favourite knits, I have to say. I love it. As for the pants that I made, I've made them before, but the ones that I have always been a little bit too small for me. So I wanted a pair that was slightly bigger because I feel more comfortable if I don't feel like I'm trying to squeeze myself into something. And so yeah, so it's just they're just linen, and they're just a wrap paint. Yeah, so there's those two things. The other finished object is, I'll just move me chair for you, this Hope dress, which is a design by Stylearc, and this is in a check linen that I purchased last year, and I had something else in mind for it, but I didn't end up making it. This pattern actually comes with an extension pack. It's got like a little, so you can purchase a separate, a separate extension pack, which has different bodices and sleeves. But and I did purchase that at the same time as the original pattern, but then I was feeling so unwell. Well, I was recovering from having the flu and I really wanted to do something, but I still didn't have the headspace to be thinking, you know, which sleeves do I put with which bodice, so I just made the original one. But the only change I've made is that in the pattern you thread elastic you create a casing at the bottom of the sleeve and thread elastic through and have sort of bubbly sleeves, but I just really wanted something sort of floaty. So yeah, and I've worn this a few times and it looks really nice, so I might wear it the next time I video, but not today. Yes, so there's those. What else have I done? So I was sick. I had the flu a few weeks ago. I was probably crook for about 11, 12 days. And I almost did no knitting. That's how unwell I was. I was just rotten. But when I did manage to do something, I worked on my Cozy Memories blanket, which I haven't picked up for months. So let's show you. So that's the beginning of it. Grogu, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's the beginning of it. And I'm on the second row. Yeah. So when I started knitting on this, I think I was up to about here on this square. And so I did the rest of that. And then I did that one. But I'm liking how it's coming out. And I've got my bag of little balls. Like some of these I could still actually use in like a shawl or something, but they're just all there in case I want to pick one out of there. So I worked on that a little bit. That's, you know, that kind of sickness where it's just like too heavy to even lift your arms up to knit. That's what I felt like. I could have had this done, but I didn't. The other thing I've been working on, I've left some things inside, but too bad. It is what it is. Okay, so we've got this is The Daydreamer by Andrea Mowry. It's a very involved knit because these are all little 1x1 cables across there. And then you've got cables in here. And then you've got bobbles. And so every second round is just very complicated because I just can't be faffed doing the whole cabling without a cable needle. So I use the spiral, which is reasonably quick, but still. Now, here's my beginning of round here. So the last time I showed this to you, I was here, got my little tuk-tuk holding on to it. And I've done that much, which is about how many rows? Quite a few. Quite a few. I mean, it's almost not quite, but only a few rows off the same amount as I did there. So yeah. So that's two full repeats of the chart there, and then I've just done the first 3 rounds of the 3rd repeat, and then when I get to the top of that, that's when you split for your sleeves and start doing the front and back panels. So I was going to put this to sleep for the summer, but I think I'll just keep working on it because I do like it. I'm using Possum Merino, which is from Wild Earth Yarns. It's undyed, and Drops Kid Silk Mohair in the colour 34, which I think is, I did have the name, I think it's like Sea Breeze or something like that. I'm just holding those two together. I have been working on my Nana jumper, but that's deep inside, so I'm not going to go back out there again. And and I have been doing some spinning as well, spinning some alpaca, but that's inside as well. I thought I was so organised, didn't I? Now, I have been working on my I had done a little bit of work on my nest socks. So the last time you saw me, I had just finished the first one, and I've done that much of the second one. Okay, not much. That can go back in there. And that's the same with my other socks as well. I haven't done much either. I'm useless. Now that's got to go over there. What else have I got in my little bag? Nothing in there. Oh, I've got a new cast on. So you guys would have heard me talk about a business called Yarn on Cone here in New Zealand. It's run by a lady called Amy, and she goes over to, well, sometimes I think she gets her stuff from China, but these cones, because she's Chinese, cones come from all sorts of places, like some of them are milled in Italy and, you know, all sorts of countries. So I purchased 2 cones from her. I got this one here, which is 3-ply mohair, 70% mohair, 30% nylon, plus 1 ply of cotton, which is 100% cotton, and it's the equivalent of an 8-ply. It's just gorgeous. Really cost effective to buy your stuff like that from a place like her. And then at the same time, I purchased this cone, which is just 100% tussar silk, and it's a 3-ply, and it's lovely. So I'm making, I'll show you first. It's called Tokonatsu, and it's designed by Yamagara, and I'm knitting the size 3. Little secret, I love Japanese design knitwear. I love Japanese style, actually. I've got quite a few sewing books with Japanese style clothes. Unfortunately, the patterns that come with them, because they all come with patterns that you can trace, the Japanese are very small people, and I'm not very small anymore. So I'd have to grade them up, and I have done that once, but I just haven't had the time. So yeah, sad for me, but never mind. I have lent one of the books to my sister because she is tiny and she'd be fine. I'll just show you this picture here. So you can basically wear it reversed if you want to. But this is where I'm at. Hey, Groggy. Where am I? Just try and not lose my stitches, but also show you. So it's knit from the bottom up. And at the moment it's just real simple. It's a stocking stitch all the way up. It's got a garter edge hem, short rows in the back to give it that dropped look. And it's going to be lovely. It's going to be a lovely drapey garment for the summertime. Says that. What else? I feel like, you know how you just sort of have that feeling in the back of your mind that you've forgotten something? But no. I have purchased 2 dress patterns, but I'll show those to you when I make them. And I've also purchased a shawl pattern. But I think I've left that inside as well. I really thought I was so organised, but I was not. Never mind. So this is going to be a nice quick one, which is really good because as soon as I've finished this, I'm going inside, I'm chucking my old clothes on, and I've got to get some stuff done outside. So let's get to the life stuff, and then we'll do that draw. We'll see who's going to win the goodies. Yeah, so life, let's see. So a bit before I saw you guys last time, I think I filmed in the school holidays. I had been a little bit crook, and then I'd been a little bit crook again, and then I'd been at work the first week of work after the holidays. That Sunday before the holidays finished, I got really congested in here, like really bad, and I couldn't breathe, but I felt generally okay. So I went to work on Monday. By the end of the day, I was starting to feel quite crappy, and then I ended up having 2 days off work because I was just so blocked and so congested. I think I ended up going to the pharmacy and buying some Codral cold and flu, you know, that night and day medication. Now, New Zealand has had a ban on pseudoephedrine in any medications for quite a few years, just because it can be used in the manufacture of methamphetamine. Now, you guys may or may not be aware, but New Zealand is not immune to problems of drug abuse, and the halt in sales of pseudoephedrine has not stopped the production or the import of methamphetamine. So our new government has lifted the ban, but you still have to, it's still a registered controlled medicine, so you still have to talk to the pharmacist and all that sort of stuff. So that is to say, I had that, and that did help clear that up. I went back to work so I had 1 day off, went to work 1 day, had 2 days off, worked for 2 days, and then I was at work for another week. And I think the Thursday of week 2, I remember I walked out of the library to lock up and go home, and as I hit the cold air, I started to cough. I was like, oh, blow, that's annoying. And, you know, because I still hadn't really got rid of the head stuff. I coughed all the way to the car. I coughed all the way to Evan's workshop to pick up the dog, to pick up Digger. I coughed all the way in there. I got home and I was still coughing. This is just out of the blue. I didn't have a cough when I had the blocked nose thing. And then, yeah, I was just like, oh God, I don't feel that great. anyway, I woke up Saturday morning. I didn't feel 100%, but I was like, nope, I'm not taking any time off work. So I left home early and I stopped at the supermarket before I got to work, and I bought some chicken soup, some paracetamol and ibuprofen, and what else did I get? Lozenges. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And yep, I soldiered on through that day, but as the day went on, I was like, oh. Then the weekend came, and over the weekend, I thought, I'm just going to have to rest. But all this stuff to do, but I'm just going to have to rest because I can't be taking any more time off work. I've got to nip this in the bud. So I rested all weekend. I managed to do, the odd bit, but I really, really was taking care just to listen to my body and rest. And then Sunday afternoon, I just went downhill. I was on the couch. I had pain in my back. My body I was freezing. I was shaking. I was really emotional. I was crying. Evan was just looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And I was just beside myself. I remember I was on the couch. I was just rocking, and I was like, oh yeah. And I had the flu. I had flu, influenza flu. And so there's a little cat sniffing the tripod. What you doing, girl? So yeah, that was me for a week. I had it really, by Monday, the cough was so thick and chunky and just, like, even if I laughed, it was just this bubbly, horrible thing. So I called the doctors, did all that. Didn't need to hit any antibiotics because obviously it was a viral infection, and just had to let it run its course. And thankfully I didn't get a secondary bacterial infection, so that was good. I didn't need that. It just needed rest. So I had the whole week off work, and yeah, yay. I'm still snotty as hell, but it's also, we've had a lot of pollen in the air too, so it is what it is. Then this last Tuesday was 4 years since we lost Mum. So yeah, August is a little bit of a hard month because it's Mum's birthday on the 8th, and then the anniversary of her passing on the 20th. So yeah, you always have a lot of thinking and feeling and memories and stuff that come up, but that's just life, isn't it? So yeah, I can talk about it now without getting too teary. It took me a long time to be able to do that. What else, Grogu? Oh, Evan's going to the States. So he's going to the States next week. And I'm going to be flying solo with the cat and the dog. So yeah, so that's going to be really exciting for him. He's going to watch Speedway. Him and some friends too. They're hiring two campers, and they're going to be following this race series. The type of cars, I can't remember what he called them. They call them a different name to us, but they're similar to the class he races, but just the next level up. But that sort of style of car. So yeah, really exciting stuff happening here, and there's lots happening in the garden, and I've got to get these lawns mowed, but it's just really wet out there at the moment. So I was just hoping that by the time I do this, it may have dried out a little bit outside and I can get the lawns mowed and all that kind of stuff. Was there anything else we were going to talk about, Grogu? Anything else, darling? She just went squeak. She doesn't meow, she goes squeak. Okay, right. Now, there's quite a few names in this. Oh, shit. You dickhead. That's it. I didn't miss any. Just right. I'm going to draw them. I didn't want to try and do any of those apps that do the random number draws or comment pickers, because I knew I was going to be replying, and I didn't want to not reply because you guys were making such lovely comments. So yeah, I feel quite nervous. What if I hand in? How long do we do this for? Never had to do this before. What an idiot. Okay, I keep thinking, oh, come on. Cross your fingers, guys. I've got a name. Okay, who is it? Morag Guthrie. Woohoo! Morag Guthrie 8930. There you go, Morag. That's lovely. How exciting. So, Morag, can you please contact me on the email that I'll put in the description box? It's my blogging email. It's Plumtree Cottage, because that's the name of my gardening channel, if you guys want to watch a gardening channel. And just to remind you of what you're getting, this bag and that skein, these, and I've got a couple of other little bits that I'm going to pop on there as well. So Morag, if you could please email me. I won't contact you. Grogu! She's just dropped all my roll eggs. Grogu, what are you doing? As we were. I won't contact you. You contact me, because we don't want the scammers, not the spammers, as I kept saying last time, to be trying to elicit money out of you or anything like that. So yeah, like I said, thank you all so much for all your love, all your support. I actually didn't realize I'd get such kind comments, you know, in that last video, and even my floor polishing video. That turned out really well too. But I will be, we're going into September, so there'll be one more podcast. I think I've got a couple of other little interesting bits that I might like to record on this channel. And then in October I'll do Vlogtober. I see Paula from Stitch by Mrs. D is doing September vlogs. I love Paula. She just makes me laugh. She is so funny. Who else? Don't know. Just excuse me a second. Please forgive me if I forget to cut that out, but hopefully I don't. Ugh. I could feel myself like really, really being blocked up and talking through my nose, through my mouth, or breathing through my mouth and not through my nose. Yeah, so that's what's coming up on the channel. We've done the giveaway. We've updated you on my bits and pieces. And yeah, I'll see you back here in another few weeks. And yeah, there should be another couple of little videos in between. Love you all. Take care. Behave. Don't catch the flu. Don't catch all the other bugs. Be safe. And I love you. See ya. Good morning. Here's still sticking it.